Hey guys, welcome to devops school. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about Kubernetes. Kubernetes is developed by Google and it is an open source platform that automates container operations. It eliminates many of the manual processes involved in deploying and scaling containerized applications. After going through this tutorial, I promise you that the concept and understanding of the Kubernetes will be absolutely clear to you.
But before that, let me ask you a few things. Are you dreaming of a career with higher pay and more responsibilities? Or are you ready to take your skills to the next level this year? Then start investing in DevOps School certification level courses which will help you to emerge skills for a wide range of entry-level roles and as well as higher potential future positions. But with thousands of courses online and in classroom worldwide, finding the right one for your career goals can be difficult. You can consider our courses like Agile Developer, Agile QA, DevOps Certified Professionals, Site Reliability Engineering, DevSecOps, and Masters in DevOps Engineering, where you will have access to well-structured, easy-to-follow course content that has been developed and will be delivered by industry professionals. You can join on our training programs globally through online platforms, and if you are looking for classroom workshops, then we have regular sessions available in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi NCR, Mumbai, and in Pune. Simply compare our many courses, find the one that suits your style and schedule best, and start today.
And think about it. There's one who's speaking. Can you please mute yourself? I don't know from where it's coming. Anyone have an idea who's from coming from where?
Ramakrishna, I think.
Rama, please mute yourself. Yeah. So guys, this is my laptop. Okay, think logically. This is my master. This is my workstation. And this is the node 1, node 2, node 3, all this thing. Okay. So how, and here in this workstation, we have a kubectl. So how this kubectl will come to know this is a master or this is a master? How? So for that I'm talking about. So kubectl reads the file. Which file? Config file. Where is that located? This file is located. This file is located inside your user home /.kube/config. This is the location. Now the file is located at this place, that's okay. But what it contains, that's important. So guys, in the config file, you will have this section. You have a cluster specification. It's a YAML file, okay? So you have a clusters. So in this, you will have cluster 1. You can have as many clusters, and 2, 3. This will be having API server address of that different cluster. If you have a 3 cluster, you can have a 3 API server. So like that. Okay. Now, how can we have access for this? So for that we have a users, and here we have a user 1, user 2, user 3. Now, how do we know which cluster has which user? So for that we have a context. So here context 1, context 2, context 3, and context 1 is equal to cluster 1 plus user 2. Like this you have. Which cluster should be I'm working with it? How do you know? So then we have a last section which is called current context. Okay, context, and current context is equal to context. So right now whatever is selected, you will be working with that particular cluster. Did you understand this config file skeleton? All? Everyone? Guys, are you able to hear me? Hello?
Yes, Raj.
Yes.
Now, guys, with this in perspective, this is the location, okay, and this is the skeleton of the config file. Now, with that in perspective, can you please read only selected line? Only selected. Don't read here and there. Only the selected one. Okay, so what we have done, we have got, they have created one file which is called admin.conf for us. When you create a cluster, they'll create this file, keep it in this location, okay, in the master. What you have to do, you have to copy it inside this location and then start using it. So that's config file, we need it. So by the way, for time being, what I'm doing right now, I'm making the master is equal to, understand that, I'm making master is equal to workstation. Okay, you don't need third machines for this. Because master, you have a kubectl config file, I'll take it from this location, and workstation is done. But as a regular user, see here, as a regular user, I will do that. So right now, I am in this machine. You see, look at my screen, guys. I am in this machine. This is a, let me close. This is my master, okay? So I'll restart this session. CentOS, okay? And as a regular user means CentOS. I'm doing right now, okay? Look at this CentOS. And I will do myself setting up the workstation using this command. So see here. Done. Okay. So this is the workstation. Now, how can you test the workstation is done or not? See here. kubectl. Look at my screen, guys. kubectl get kubectl enter. And here I say kubectl clustered info. That is a way to test whether cluster is set up or not. See here. See, cluster master is running, DNS is running. Can we go and get that nodes also? kubectl get nodes. See, guys, this is master node, this is the worker node, and it's not ready. Why not ready? If you troubleshoot and you find out the root cause, then what you have to do? You have to, now you read this. Pod network was not there. We have to install the pod network. Please read this very carefully. What it says, you should now deploy a pod network to the cluster. Now, for the pod network, you will get a YAML file, which you have to run it. But from where you get it? So you have to select which pod network you wanted. There are so many options that are available in this. So here, if you see, you have ACI, Calico, Canal, Selenium, CNI, Genie, Contap, Contrast. So many things are there. I'm using one of this VivNet. For that, I have already this instruction here already for you. Where is that? Let me share with you. Here it is. See here, for networking. So you have to copy this command. You have to copy this command and run it in the workstation. And just wait for it sometime. Done. Pod networking is done. Can we check this? You have to. It will take 30 seconds to become ready. Just wait for it. See, one ready. Second ready. So yeah, everything is got ready. So your cluster is ready. So what I did basically, understand that I set up a workstation. How? This one. I install the pod networking. How? This one. The command I'm putting in the notepad, notes itself. VNet, I installed it. Okay. And how I added a worker, more worker. If you want to add, you have it. Did you all understand that?
Yes, Rajesh.
You want to see this config file? Let's look at this, guys. This config file, the one which I copied just now. Let's look at this. So here, go to this and more. See here, clusters. There is only one cluster. See, this is the API server address. Context, users. Go down, user. See here, and context, this one. Section wise, I explained it to you. So that's okay. Good. So now, guys, my cluster is set up perfectly fine. Now the
we will get UI interface for this. It is showing some items.
Dashboard.
Yeah, dashboard.
So right now we will not use dashboard. We will use command line.
Command line. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Now those who's not having cluster ready, they can use mine. No problem. Okay. Why? Because we don't want to lose more time because we have already spent a hell lot of time. So for that, what I should do? So first thing, let me close all these things. It's confusing me, which is mine. So I'm setting up the password for you, so you can use my machine actually. So IP address is this one. This is my workstation, okay? This is my workstation. And password, I'll set it up for you. Just give me 2 seconds. Done. Okay, so here this is my master. So let me set it up the password for you. So vi etc ssd config. You know the password. Done. EASSWD send to S123 send to S123. Okay, system CTL start SS. Done, guys. Okay, so finally, for all of you, this is a username, this is the password. Okay, got it, everyone? Now everyone can work together, no problem. Any questions, guys, so far?
Yeah, if we are logging into the same server and try to run the same commands, is it going to impact anything there?
Which command?
If you try to log into the worker node at once and try to run the same commands, it is going to make some changes, right?
Sorry, I could not understand you.
If you try to log into the worker nodes and try to make any changes or run some commands.
Which command? Which change? Right? You have to tell me, no? Which command? Which change?
So suppose if we run something regarding to kubectl pod creation or pod updation.
Think logically. Think logically again. See here. This is master. This is worker.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
who can talk to the master API server? kubectl. kubectl need the config file which I just now configure from the. So this
Yeah.
will query this one. No, where the worker is coming. Worker is managed by the master, right?
Okay.
Are you understanding my point or not?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So just remember this one, workstation IP address. This is my workstation IP address, user and password. That's all. Okay. Any other questions, guys?
Rajesh, I mean, previously you have run that watch command, right? To see that, what is that command?
Yeah. I run this command for access and then from here this command. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. Thanks, Rajesh.
Okay, guys, can we start now the learning Kubernetes, because setup is just a one time. Learning is important. So what do you want to create? Tell me. What do you want to create? Guys, are you there?
Cassandra?
Hello? Hello?
Yes. We need to create a pod under which we need to run the containers.
Correct. We will create a pod. What else you want to create? We'll create replication controller. Remember? We'll create a deployment. If you forgot, let me remind it. Pod, you know. Replication controller, multiple pods. Deployment, multiple pods. But in detail, I'll come back later. Let's create a pod. But before that, let me tell you guys, how do I know pod, replication controller, deployment, like that? How many more API service we have? How many more API service we have? And for that, look at my screen. For that, what I'm doing right now, I don't know. So do you think any command will tell me all the API resources quickly?
We have API resources, right?
So, wonderful. I got all the resources. Now we need to understand this page very, very carefully. All of you. Clear the screen one more time. See that. Here we have a name of the resources. We have a short names, API group, namespace true, false, kind. Now what is this? See, some of the resources like a nodes, pod, replication controller, deployment. In short, you can call it deploy or pod or no also you can call it. Now the question is, what is a namespace? What is a group? What is a group? What is a namespace? What is a kind? So see here, understand that conceptually. What happened? I told you, remind API server. Now this is the API server. Okay, this is the API server. I told you very clearly, API server you have only one endpoint, but it has a multiple features. Multiple feature you have in API server. That's the reason we call it API server, right? It's not like that we just call API server. API server has hundreds of API. We have discussed so many times already. So now these API server, you have to call it from API server. This API you have to call through API server. So how do you call it? So you reach out to here, okay? But whether you want this one or this one or this one, how do you tell? So I will tell from the kind. I have to tell, I want this, I want pod, I want a node, I want namespace, I want this, I want that, whatever. So you have to tell kind. But these features has been developed multiple times also. One feature, two feature, three feature. So which version you want? This one, this one, this one. Are you getting my points or not, guys? Sometimes you do the release, right? Some clients are on the older version, some clients are on the top version. They decide which version they want to install. So it's like that. So are you getting my points?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
So you have to tell here which particular API version and group you want. API version you want. So whether you want two, you have to tell. So you will tell I want the pod, but which version I want? So some XYZ version I want. Now this feature is a part of this. All feature is a part of some group. How come? Let me tell you here. What has happened? Initially, when we had a few resources, that there were no grouping, but then community bombarded with a multiple hell lot of features. Then Kubernetes thought, okay, let's do one thing. Let's convert into the grouping. So whatever initially pod we got it, not pod. Initially resources, whatever you got it, there's a feature we got it. Let's call that one as a V1. Okay, V1. Okay, so V1 version 1, and let's not keep it any group. At that time, group was not introduced. So that means these are the primary features which got introduced in the Kubernetes. Which are those? Config map, endpoint, event, limit range, namespaces, node, blah, 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 blah. So at that time, there was no release. But later on, when community bombarded with the multiple features, then they started grouping together multiple features. Okay, and that is where you see that there are some groups are there: admission, apps, authorization, batch, networking, RBAC, storage. So it's a group. So now they have a group. So you got to know grouping is just to organizing this microservices. These are the services. These are the features. Kind is the way to tell API server what you want. What is the namespace? True and false. So let's understand that namespace concept. See here. The one which I am drawing is cluster. Entire cluster. I said entire cluster. Don't think it is the one computer. This cluster is powered by multiple workers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This cluster, as per the image, 5 worker is there. I told you there's a first statement third day itself during the Kubernetes. Kubernetes view entire data center as one computer. I hope that is clear for everyone. So that means whatever the Kubernetes you have, 1 node or 2000 nodes, it will behave as if it's one compute unit for Kubernetes. Okay. So now what has happened? Think about it, guys. Simple scenario, I'll put it up. There is a project 1, project 2, project 3. So project 1 is running their pod here. Why I'm creating this pod at the distance? What it represents? Anyone got a clue?
Each worker on
Different.
Scheduler will remember. Scheduler will do the scheduling based on the affinity and non-affinity. That means it will equally divide the load. Remember, Kubernetes is all about the workload placement, right? What is the Kubernetes? Workload placement. What is the workload? Pod is workload. What is the pod? You know that very well. So yes, scheduler will schedule the pod equally. This is the project 1, project 2, project 3. So each project is running their code in the same cluster. What has happened? Blue project has got some bugs. What kind of bug? So bug is consuming lots of CPU and lots of RAM. It's not been tested thoroughly, or maybe some problem has happened in the middle project, and that is consuming lots of CPU and lots of RAM. So tell me one thing. Only one node will be impacted, or all nodes will be impacted? Tell me.
All will be impacted.
Yeah, all node will be impacted. So now green, another team, is shouting at the blue team, how dare you run this kind of things without testing? Because of your pod, my pod is also down. People are not accessible, clients are not accessible. They're complaining about it. What do we do in this case? How do we manage this kind of issues? That means how can we make sure that, how can we limit each project? The question is very simple. How can we limit each project code to the certain memory and certain CPU? Simple. Okay, second problem. DevOps guys of green pod logged into the cluster and by mistakenly deleted all this pod. By mistake. Now what will happen? You know that. Now this team is shouting at the green, how dare you touch my pod? Because of you I have a downtime. You should not supposed to do. But this guy did by mistake. What to do? So guys, what I'm trying to tell you here is, when you have one cluster, multiple departments, multiple projects, multiple microservices are working together. So you will be having fighting between resources, access, permission, this, that. So how do you solve this problem? So first, did you understand the problem? Then I'll talk about the solution.
Yes, Rajesh.
Yes. So what Kubernetes, they said, no problem. Let's do one thing. I will divide into, you can divide all this pod and run inside, not in a cluster. Don't run in the cluster. Run in the subcluster. This is a subcluster. This is a subcluster. This is a subcluster. Now you know what is the beauty? You can set the limitation. Let's say 5 GB, 5 GB, 5 GB, 5 GB, 5 GB. Altogether 25 GB RAM you have. You can set the condition. You can only use up to the 10 GB, 10 GB, something like that. Each, let's say 5 GB, this one, and 5 GB, 5 GB buffer. So max you can use 10 GB. That means each pod, whatever maximum, no matter whether it's running or not, maximum you can use 10 GB. Maximum you can use 5 GB. You can do subclustering. So subclustering also you can assign dedicated admin for it. That means this admin will not have access to other subclusters. So what was the solution? Subclustering. Did you understand that? Yeah. Guys, this subcluster keyword in Kubernetes, we call it names. That's all. Now you got it. What is the namespace? You got it, namespace?
Yeah. Yes, yes.
So namespace is nothing but, understand that, namespace is nothing but a way to distribute where the resources should run and limit the resources capacity as per the namespace. So yes, here you have a true and false. Why? Because some resources you can create only inside a namespace, true. And some resources you can create not to namespace, like a cluster wide, like a node. This is a node. You cannot create for no namespace. It is for the cluster wide. Okay. So what has happened, guys? Let me tell you. So Kubernetes says, okay, fine, project 1 is happy, project B is happy, project C is happy. But what about my pod? Because Kubernetes also runs some pods, right? Where these pods will go, like API server, scheduler, control manager, and many things. So they say, no problem, I will create my own one namespace system. Then people started shouting, what about those who's not having dedicated namespace? Then Kubernetes created one more namespace which is called default. That means those pods whose orphan may be is a part of the default. Then people started shouting, what about the common services which is between the project 1 and project 2? Both are using and no one want to host it. So Kubernetes created one public namespace. Then people started shouting, okay, what about the maintenance guys? We do the node maintenance, this, that, maintenance and all stuff like that. What about me? What about my pod? Then Kubernetes created one node specific pod also. Sorry, node specific namespace also. So all together, when you get a Kubernetes cluster default, you get a system public default node as many if you want to create it. So let me see that where is that. So kubectl get ns. See, do we have or not? Correct? Right now? You have a system public default and node. That means you do not specify the which namespace you belong to. It will be part of the default by default. Are you getting guys this stuff?
What is for node lease, Rajesh?
That's what, no, node maintenance work. Node maintenance pod will go to the node. Monitoring, backup, restoration, changing something in the node and all. Those pods will go to the node. Admin controls the pod.
Default, what will have?
Default.
Earlier you said like subcluster wise, right? So no one can touch the other one. Is there any? Do you have any super user or super?
What is that?
Super user who can have access to all the subclusters.
So right now, whatever the access you got access for everything.
Mm-hmm.
The user which you are using in the config has access to everything. Got it, guys? So you want to see the pods now? So get pods -n is equal to kube system. See that? Are you able to correlate now discussion? See here, API server, etcd, controller manager, scheduler. Why we have two proxy? You want to know? Why we have two proxy?
One for master and one for worker.
Okay, yeah, good. And this is the discovery services. So VNet is basically driver network pod networking. So this is we installed in the third step. If you remember here, this one. Okay. So guys, this is the some of the commands. I just run it. Okay, so you got to know all the resources. By the way, version, where's the version? I don't know where's the version. So let's run kubectl. Here, there's one version, API version. See here, these are the versions. All this, which has no grouping, it will go to the B1, last one. Remaining, these are the versions.
Rajesh, I have one question. So right now we are running kubectl on the master node. So let's say if you're running on a different one, right? Where do we specify host and put like this host we need to hit and all?
Sir, anyone can clarify his question? I would like someone else to pick it up. Anyone?
We copied the concept, right?
Can you please, sir, repeat your question one more time?
So what I was trying to do is basically, so I have run kubes get nodes in the master, I'm able to tell the or pods. Okay, so let's say if I run the same command in the worker node, right? I got an error saying that the connection to the server localhost colon 8080 was refused. Did you specify the right host or port? So so I just wanted to know like where we can configure the host and port, like this particular thing to hit and all.
Yeah. Any answer, guys? Any answer, guys? I cannot hear you. Someone is speaking. Hello? Guys, can you hear me or not? I think no one is focusing on the... Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you, Rajesh.
This question is very simple. I'm expecting answer from you. I'm not going to give answer. His question is, he ran kubectl command get nodes or whatever it is in the worker, but he got the command not working. Why so?
No, command is working. I mean, it's just that I'm not able to connect to the correct host and port. I didn't get like command not one. I
See the kube controller is in the master node.
Master only.
You need to copy that config file, right?
Yes. So command is not working. That means your command is not giving the right expected. Okay. So sir, if you remember, I said very clearly, workstation is needed. kubectl, I wrote also in the workspace. See here. Workstation have kubectl. kubectl need config. Config file need to be here. What it contains is this fashion. Then I told you need to copy from this place. Wherever you have config file in whichever machine, that will become workstation. So I don't know where I'm missing the difference.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. So if you run that command, you copy that file, config file in the workstation also, it will work, because ultimately you can talk to API server from any places using kubectl and config file.
Okay, fine. I'll do that then.
No, don't do that. Make your master workstation only.
Yeah. I already made it. I mean, so I was thinking like instead of changing the config way, whether there are any options that we can pass, like for example, like -h with the host name -t. So I was thinking maybe there are any inline commands that we can do. Yeah, config file we can change, but I just wanted to know whether there is any other way apart from config file change.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So now you can check the version also. So by the way, I want to list out one thing for you. Guys, focus. These are the resources we have in the so many resources. Look at this. These are the resources in the API server. That means these are the functionality of API server. That means these are the feature you will demand for API server. That means this feature is understood by API server. How can you call kind? So guys, when we do API, some of you are programmer also. So when do you do API? I'm not talking about API server. I'm talking about API. when you get API, what typically you do? Tell me. You want to access the feature of API. What typically you do? Tell me. You need to have Jara verify on your source code. But what you do? What action you do on API?
Request and response.
Something else?
You will respond.
Request you will do, but what format? I mean, what not format? What way? What action? What
REST API.
method? Yes, sir. Yes.
Get or post.
Correct. Correct. Can I call it in a simple way, CRUD, sir?
Yeah, create, read, update, delete.
Yeah. So guys, it's a global rule. I'm not teaching it for the Kubernetes. It's a global rule. If you look at the Kubernetes architecture and specifically API server, it has a collections of APIs, like Facebook also exposed hundreds of APIs. Google also exposed. Flipkart also exposed. Amazon also exposed. Whole world. In fact, your products must be exposing some API. Wherever people expose the API, and here in Kubernetes we have an API server. Through API server, hundreds of APIs getting exposed. What do you do? We do CRUD. Now the question is, what is CRUD? So CRUD means create, read, update, and delete. Guys, these are the things only we do that. Nothing else we do that. Nothing else I said. Now, how do you do that? So if you are on HTTP verb side, then create, you will have a, any idea of verb? Anyone recall that programmer? Do we have any programmer? Verb? Any verb?
Yeah.
Verb?
You have get.
Yes. No, create.
Yeah, create is like post or put.
Wonderful. Got it. So quote and post. Read, get, update, post, right? And delete.
Yeah.
Right? So these are the very simple thing, guys. So what I am doing right now, I am teaching you same thing. I'm teaching you, let me give you a magic mantra. Whatever the resources you see here, whatever I said, whatever means whatever in a simple word. Whatever resources you see, what you will do? Either you create, or a read, or update, or delete. I tried some of the times here also, you see that here. Get here. So you will do everything like this. So now I'm teaching you how can you do with the kubectl. Create, read, update, and delete. So go to the kubectl. I don't know anything. When I don't know, I should run kubectl. That's all. You just need to remember only one command, kubectl. That's all. They will give you everything. And if you want to crack a certification, you have to get this habit only. Okay. So how can we create any resources? See here. Create. Guys, anything in the Kubernetes you can do through command line, and you can do through YAML also. Yes. JSON also you can pass, but right now not complicating. Now create command line, YAML, create -f. F means file name, okay? So this is the one. So now create is done. Now read. So guys, get. Okay. Through YAML we never read. Update. So guys, do you have any apply? I'm just teaching you here faster way so you can. And YAML. Delete. Okay, update you can do through command called edit also. So guys, within a 5 minutes you could learn 1 command, 2 command, 4 command, 5 command, 6 command.
Now what this sixth command you can do with all the resources, or with all the resources. Simple. Okay, you want to see that? Let's get it. So what do you want? We decided I want pod, but before that I told you you want namespace also, right? Everyone has to create a namespace. Let me tell you guys very clear contract between you and me. If you are using my cluster, you have to create your namespace with your first name. So that way I can monitor and you will not disturb my work and my demo. So you can create, just like I'll create mine, you will create yours. No one will create in the default. No one. So those who is creating resources in default, I will assume you guys are not following me blindly. You are running during the demo and during the lab. Okay. So how can you create a namespace? So I'm creating namespace first, then I'll create a pod, then I'll create a RC, then I'll create a deployment, then I'll create this, that, all these 50 plus resources one by one you have to learn. Okay. So question is, let's start with one at least. So guys, I'm doing right now. Same method I'll follow. Look at my screen only. kubectl. I want to know first of the list of the get namespace. Get ns. Oh, I have 4 default and node, public, system, but I want to create mine one. Command line I'm teaching you. See, CMD. Okay, I'll teach you YAML also. Don't worry. So here kubectl. What? Create. Okay, create. What create? NS. NS means shortcut. Okay. What do you want? Namespace. What namespace? This. My name is Rajesh. Okay. So can I get? See guys, I get the Rajesh. Can I create one more? Dev. See. Get ns. I got this dev also. Rajesh. It's so easy right now. I told you everything will be done by the Kubernetes if you understand how Kubernetes works. So dev Rajesh. Now what do you want? You want to create, you want to read, you want to update. Command line. This is wrong. Apply is not working. The CMD. Command line edit. Can I edit? See here. I change kubectl. Edit. What you want to edit? NS. Rajesh. See here. You can modify something. Labels and all is not there right now, but you will have a labels little bit later. I will not modify right now. No changes made. Edit. And can I delete now? Command line. So kubectl. Delete what? NS. Which NS? Dev NS. So guys, was it difficult? You tell me. Was it difficult? Delete it.
Oh.
So did you understand guys? CRUD rule. Did you understand the CRUD rule? Okay, yes. So I'm writing all the commands in the notepad only, so you should not ask me how did you get this. See here, this I am writing, and then this I'm writing, then I am writing this. This rule you have to hard code. And let me tell you, I'm not teaching you something like a Kubernetes. I'm teaching you how to use REST API. That's all. This API address will change tomorrow. Maybe you have your own API. Okay, so this is the one. Now guys, can we create a pod? Next one is, can we create a pod? So I am creating a pod now, but the problem I am having is I don't know command for that. So if I don't know the command, so let me kubectl. Okay, what I want? Create pod. Create command. I got it. So kubectl and create. Then I don't know. Then guys, can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me? Yeah, now we have to hear.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
my internet.
Yes,
Yeah, power has gone to my home. Internet got disconnected. So I connected to that. Okay, so guys, what I'm trying to do actually, I was trying to create a pod. So here I was knowing kubectl, and I don't know what to do. After that, I wanted to create a pod, so I said create. Now the moment I see kubectl create, you look at my screen. And I got available command. Can I create a pod by looking at this available options, available command? Do you see that pod? I can create it. Can you please suggest me? Guys, Do you see any pods I can create using the subcommand?
No, Rajesh.
No.
It is pod description budget.
So correct. I cannot create. I don't have options to create a pod. Actually, guys, there are some options are given, but I'm not covering that one. So basically, what they have done, they have removed that here. So yes, that's true. I cannot create a pod through command line. So what do we do? I have a YAML file. Yes. Can I create through command YAML file? Yes, of course. So now let's go and get it YAML file. Now the question is from where we'll get it. So from the previous training, I'll quickly copy and paste it just to save time. So guys, this is the pod. Look at my screen, please. It's very easy to understand. This is the YAML of the pod which I copied pasted. I'll teach you how to create a YAML from scratch. It's very simple. Okay. So see here, what version you want? What you want? Kind pod. Kind which I showed you. Which version you want? Version you want? What is the name of the pod? What is the label? Label I'll tell you the conceptually later. Inside a pod you have a specification. What a specification? Container. See, yes, remember here. Here you can have one container. Here you can have a multiple containers also. Right now one container. Which container? From Nginx. And which container port? 80. Is it very difficult to understand this pod specification? Is it very difficult to understand? No. Okay. So now guys, I will do one thing because many people are working together in my system. So I will do one thing. I don't want to fight with you. You don't want to fight with me. We don't want to merge each other code. So I will create my directory Rajesh Kumar and CV Rajesh Kumar. Here it is. Clear the screen. Okay, I am inside my directory. You should not touch mine. I will not touch yours. That's a deal between us. Okay. So di pod1.yaml. Okay. This is the one. Copied, pasted. Now again CRUD I will follow. Now you know that command I have given you: create, get, edit, delete. Same thing, guys. Whatever you want. So now can I do that? You see here. Create -f pod.yaml. Let me tell you guys. If you run this command, any idea where this will get created? Any idea?
Inside our namespace.
Which name?
Default.
Yes, but we have an agreement actually. We all have agreement. We will not touch it in default. We will not touch default. That means mine is I forgot mine. Get any. Mine is Rajesh. So qctl create -f pod1.yaml -n is equal to Rajesh. We have agreement. Let me see who's violating that agreement. No one will create pod inside the default. No one is orphan. Everyone has everyone will have some specific namespace. Okay. So I created a namespace. I created inside Rajesh namespace. So can I see that right now? Get pod. Okay. Where is gone? Any idea? I can't.
We have to specify the namespace, right?
Wonderful, you got it. Wonderful. See guys, when you specify no namespace, that means default. Hard to put your mind. Now what you got it. What you created. Okay. Now what I want to do, let me complete this flow. I get this pod. I created this pod. I get this pod. Okay. I will have to delete this pod. First create, edit, then apply. Both update. Can we do that? So guys, you see well. Edit what for you can call for pod whatever you want. You are comfortable. I am comfortable with the pod. So qctl edit pod. Which pod? This pod. -n is equal to Rajesh. Spelling mistake. Right, this is a scanf update So not everything you can update. You cannot update like name and all, but you can update image name, labels and all. So slowly you will get to know which can be updated, which cannot be updated. So right now I'm updating the label. So see here, web server, no, I'll put it 1, updated, and get for -n show LEL spelling B label. See that 1, here you see 1. Now can I update through YAML file? So vi, and here I'll make it 2. And you see here kubectl apply -f pod1.yaml -n is equal to Rajesh. And you see here, guys, update it. So did you learn that how did I update? Then finally I'll delete this. Either you delete command line or YAML, both are okay. So I'll do through command line YAML file. So kubectl delete -f pod1.yaml. What happened? Command problem.
-f.
What happened now? Any idea?
Namespace.
Please remember that one, guys. And I delete it. So you see how it's easy. It's not very difficult. Now you should only understand what is a pod and get pods.
Rajesh, is there any way to actually default a namespace for a particular session or a particular folder?
Yes, you can do that. In the config itself, you can set it up. This one, what is the namespace also. But because I don't want to complicate and I want you to practice this way only, so you get handy. Else we can embed that in the config file and that's a sector. So you can change the default to something else also. That's possible.
Yeah, thanks, Rajesh.
Yeah. So guys, this is the way I created a pod. You see that? Nothing great actually. I did not do anything great. So which command I run in front of you? So I run first memkdir and this one. So guys, this is the working with the pod. Okay. So now what I did, you see that. I'll revise this. You'll forget again. I set up my workstation through this. I install the pod network, Kubernetes. Then I work with understood that what is the namespace. Then work with the list of API resources, version, this, that, and all. And then CRUD rule. Then these are the commands I run, created a work with the namespaces. Then pod, work with the pod. And then these are the CRUD we did with the pod. And that's all. It's very easy, not very difficult. So can I give you the lab now? Will you be able to do that?
Yes, Rajesh.
Thanks for watching. If you liked our Kubernetes session so far, please enroll for our channel membership $399 plan to get access of all the parts. Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devops.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.
Thanks for watching.